Hi guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are going to discuss the current state of Bitcoin. We are going to look at potential trade ideas that are currently developing on the Bitcoin price, because I do think that this week is going to be a huge week in which the volatility and price action should probably finally return back into the market, and we are going to discuss whether there will be towards the upside or whether that will be towards the downside for the Bitcoin price. I do think this is going to be a massive week for the Bitcoin price, so definitely make sure to check out today's video. At the end of the video, we're also going to dive into the CVD indicator, funding rate, and open interest on the Bitcoin price that are all showing something very, very interesting. First of all, I want to discuss the current state, right? Because we can see that after the breakdown out of this range, Bitcoin did not see a follow through yet, right? So usually when we are distributing like a lot of people were thinking that we were doing over here, when you see proper distribution range over here, market makers are having enough time to fill their swing short orders. And once you get that breakdown, you usually see a quick follow through, right? Usually when you see a breakdown out of the range or a breakout of the range, and it is a proper breakdown or breakout, you don't get a perfect retest of the previous range low or previous range high. Like I said, you usually get a breakdown followed by a quick follow through to the downside, not getting that retest that every single retail trader is waiting for, right? Because I think we all can agree on the fact that every single retail trader can identify the range over here, but they can also identify this previous range low, which was also massive support, right? So the retail traders that did not accumulate their short positions at the previous range high over here or at the previous range mid over here, if they did not accumulate the shorts, where will retail wait for the shorts to get triggered? Exactly at the previous range low. But like I said, usually market makers don't offer the opportunity to retail traders to get in on such a perfect retest. Now this time we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 perfect retests already of the previous range low, offering the opportunity to retail traders to get in on this possible breakdown, right? And that is something that is making me distrust this breakdown over here, right? The fact that we are seeing so many perfect retests of the previous range low, in which we are offering every market participant that did not enter their shorts over here or over here to get in on a possible breakdown. So if we do get a potential further breakdown to the downside, most of the market participants will be positioned short. So most of the market participants will profit during a potential breakdown to the downside. And that is making me a little bit suspicious and making me think that everyone that is building their shorts over here, where do you think that those people put their stops? Exactly, they're going to put their stops around this high over here. Because let's look at the potential RR, right? If we are looking at the potential RR like this, let's say we open up a short at the retest of the range low, and we are putting our stop above this high. And our target, for example, could be the retest of this previous resistance area, right? That also aligns with this imbalance fill over here. We can see that is a very decent RR of 2.5-ish. So that means that this is definitely a valid short based on the RR, right? So that means that most of the people will put their stop above this high. Now we can see that this high aligns with this high and also with this high. So we are seeing a triple top. This triple top is developing right below the mid-range, right? In this case over here, we front run the mid-range and we got a breakdown to the downside. So something that I'm potentially watching right now is the Max Pain scenario, in which everyone that is looking for shorts at the backtest of this range low over here is putting their stops over here, and we are potentially going to run those stops first, in which we can see a potential squeeze to the upside, take out the stops over here, take out all of the shorts that were built over here, right? And then potentially get a breakdown. So this is definitely a scenario that I'm currently watching on the Bitcoin price. Personally, guys, I'm not looking for shorts over here. Yes, we may get a sweep over here and then we are going to reclaim. In that case, I do think we are going to continue higher to the range high and potentially even visit my final target around 32.5k. But I would also not be surprised if this turns out to be a deviation in which we are going to get a reclaim over here, in which we are going to send it towards the liquidity above this high, in which we are going to send it towards this mid-range, in which we also have this huge liquidity pool, right? Because we can see that we get this massive breakdown candle and almost nothing of the breakdown candle got recovered, only this small piece. So there's still a huge liquidity pool, a huge imbalance over here that is still waiting to get filled at least for 50%. So definitely a scenario to be watching over the upcoming days, in which we can see that this 50% fill level is definitely an area to watch. This could be an area to watch. But at the end of the day, I do think there's a lot of shorts being built over here by the retail traders, and that is not something that usually the market makers would allow. Now, the only problem here is that we are quite a low liquid and quite a low volatility environment the past couple of weeks. So that could mean that at the end of the day, maybe we are going to see that breakdown. But my system is currently telling me that I'm not willing to short yet until we run those stops over here. Let's say we do run those stops, and let's say we do take out this triple top and we feel a little bit of this imbalance over here. Maybe we are going to see a deviation of the mid-range. If you then fall back below the mid-range, you have a free short at the retest of the mid-range, stop above this high, target this range low, and also previous week's Monday low over here, right? That's the potential short that I'm willing to play. But until we run these stops over here, I'm personally not too interested at the moment in looking for shorts on the Bitcoin price, okay? Definitely very interesting chart. Also, if we're going to check the daily time frame and we are going to check the relative strength index and the stochastic RSI, there's definitely something very, very interesting developing on the Bitcoin price. Before we are going to move to the CVD indicator, we can see that the past couple of months, every single time that the stochastic RSI was bottomed and that the relative strength index was below the 50 level, right? So the mid level, we can see we got to push up. Next time, bottom stochastic RSI, RSI below the 50 level, push up, right? RSI below the 50 level, bottomed stochastic RSI, bottomed over here, push up, right? Every single time. RSI below the 50 level over here, bottom stochastic RSI, we push up. Bottom stochastic RSI, RSI below the mid level, we push up, right? Now, RSI below the mid level, bottom stochastic RSI not too bottomed in my opinion, but at the end of the day, push up. RSI below the mid level, bottom stochastic RSI, what if we are going to get another push up? Because we can see that the past months, every single time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that this RSI was below the mid level and that the stochastic RSI was bottomed on a daily time frame, we got a push up. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that we have to see that kind of movement again, but it's definitely something to take into account as well. And we are within this liquidity pool, potentially accumulating longs before we are going to get that expansion to the upside. Keep an eye on this scenario. Don't get blinded by all of the bearish things that you're seeing on your Twitter feed, all of the bearish things that you're seeing by your favorite influencer. Keep an eye on a potential breakout to the upside. Personally, I'm still favoring that kind of scenario. Like I said, we might get a little bit more of a move to the downside. At the end of the day, still expect this high to get run. I still expect 32.5K to get run. Now let's move over to the CVD indicator, because we can see that over here, a lot of longs got stopped out, right? We see the open interest getting a heavy decrease over here while we got that move to the downside yesterday. Afterwards, we saw that squeeze to the upside, right? In which the stops above this high got taken out, right? That also made the open interest decrease a little bit over here. But ever since we took out that high and we started consolidating over here, we can see a massive increase in open interest. We are seeing the funding rate come down, right? And we are seeing the CVD indicator come down as well and forming a hidden bullish divergence. What do I mean by that? We can see that the price action over here is forming a higher low, while the CVD indicator is forming a lower low on both the regular CVD and also the stablecoin CVD. We can see that spot is definitely selling, but we are seeing this a lot lately. I'm not taking that too much into account currently, but the fact that the open interest is increasing massively, the funding rate is coming down pretty hard, and also the CVD indicator is coming down and forming these bullish divergences is telling me that potentially quite a lot of people are building shorts over here and they are expecting a push to the downside. Now, this could fuel a potential further squeeze to the upside and is aligning with my preferred scenario currently, in which we're going to run these triple highs over here in the upcoming days for the Bitcoin price. Only thing that is currently worrying me is the fact that we have this weekly candle that has no wick to the downside. So to get a huge candle to the upside, I do always believe that you want to see that wick to the downside. We do have a wickless weekly candle created last week, so that is definitely another draw on liquidity, but I would prefer to create some kind of a wick to the downside before we are going to get a push to the upside. If we don't and we are going to get a push to the upside, then I expect the price to come down later this week to fill that weekly candle that has no wick, right? At the end of the day, look at all of the candlesticks. We are always seeing those wicks to the downside being created first before getting those green candles. And we are always seeing those wicks to the upside being created first before we are seeing those red candlesticks. That is definitely something to keep an eye on as well, guys. If you guys do have any questions after watching this YouTube video, let me know in the comments down below. Also make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure to join our free Discord. And I'll see you guys again on Wednesday's video. Ciao, ciao.